Right, so I'm just wandering along at the tide line here, and my eye fell upon a button, which is just down there. I don't know if you can see it. But then, as I crouched down to have a look at the button, I saw something else, which is just next to it. Just here, look. Now what is that? It looks like it could be some kind of something that used to be on a chain. So, oh, it's very exciting. I wonder if there's anything on it. Let's have a look at the button first. Just a little workman's button, probably 19th century. But let's investigate this. I hope there's something on the other side. Let me have a little feel of it. Oh, it feels rather flat, to be honest. Oh, actually, maybe the design is on this side. Oh, maybe there's nothing on it. Let's have a look. Let's turn it over. Oh, there is something there, isn't it? But it's just very worn. Although I don't know, maybe I'm just being too hopeful. I think I can detect something there. It's probably a little religious medallion, isn't it? Hopefully, when I look underneath the magnifying lamp, a beautiful little design will be revealed. Watch this space. Right, here's a little update. I've just taken a photograph of it and zoomed in, and there is definitely something on there. I can see a cross, a couple of crosses I think, and so, as suspected, it's probably some kind of little religious medallion. So we will explore exactly what it is when I get back home. What's that little bit of oh my gosh, it's so weird. There's all these things collected in the same tiny area. That is definitely part of an anchor there, look. Isn't that funny? Look at that. Part of a fouled anchor. Tiny little spot with 3 things in it. How bizarre. I want to make sure I put this little medallion somewhere safe. I'll put it in a special zip-up pocket reserved for special finds. See a few pins here as well. That's always a good sign. Let's have a little scrape around here. What's that? Lead. Do a little bit of scraping. You can see all these lovely nails here as well. All these old ship's nails. I'm just going to show you something down here. It's a bottleneck actually, and I know that because I already had a look. I thought it might be, in my wildest dreams, I thought it might be some kind of pipe bowl. But as I pulled it out, I realised that it still has the stopper in the neck. And it's always nice finding these bottlenecks with the stoppers still in them. There we are, look, it's the first time it's been taken out of that neck for some time. Here comes the tide. They're always so pretty, these stoppers. Right, I've just stopped the excavation of something, which initially I thought wasn't going to be anything, and it still might not be anything, but I want to share it with you just in case it is. Now, I often find grape shot, and this, I'm wondering if it could be an actual cannonball. So I just want to get it out and complete the process just in case it is, because I've not found a cannonball before. I mean, I say cannonball, It's not exactly a massive cannonball, but it's a lot bigger than the grape shot I usually find. So I tell you what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to put my gloves on and then come back and put it on a rock and tap it and see what happens, see what's underneath there. Right, here we are, got my gloves on. Let's get it out of the mud. And I'm going to find a nice slab to put it on. Here we go, that's quite nice, isn't it? So let's go, let's see what's underneath this. Oh, now you see that does look rather like a cannonball, doesn't it? Look at that, such a satisfying feeling. It's like tapping a Ferrero Rocher and getting it out of its chocolate cover. It's going to roll off in a minute. Here we go. Ferrero Rocher with a difference. Woo. Wow, look at that. I would say that that is a type of cannonball. It just happens to be the only day that I haven't bought an extra plastic bag down here with me, so I'm going to have to put it in my rucksack as it is. Voila! Wouldn't it be nice if Ferrero Rochers were that big? Now, can you see what I'm looking at down here? You must all be very, very good at this by now. Look, it's a cheeky little pipe bowl just there. Now, what lies beneath? Ooh, a little bit of stem by the looks of it, by the feels of it. Oh, yes, 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 look. Some here. Oh, and it's going along quite a bit. Yep. Lovely, look at that. Excellent. That is a lovely pipe bowl. This I believe to be late 19th century. And look, see there's no heel on this pipe. And I do have quite a few of these. And this one is completely whole. It's even got the little nipple bit there on the end. Let's give it a little rinse. Can you hear those geese flying over? Right, let's give it a little wash off. Yeah, look at that, lovely. There's no maker on it, unfortunately. Now this time, I'll see if I can do a little time lapse of it changing colour. Voila. Isn't that lovely? The last person who held this in his mouth was probably building or breaking up a ship in the 19th century. I'll keep the mud in just in case there's some tobacco at the bottom. Times are hard, you know. Now I'm just having a really close look in amongst these stones here, and can you see all these tiny little round discs? There's loads of them. There as well, look. Loads and loads of these little round things. Just lying here, devoid of purpose. But once upon a time, presumably, they held something together and were very important. Look, there's loads of them. Little nails as well. And over there I can see a little coin. What's this? And it is, of course, a modern coin with Queen Elizabeth on. And do you know what? I think that's one of the first Queen Elizabeth coins I've found since she died in September of 2022. It's funny, isn't it? There's like a whole microscopic little world going on down there. Oh, what's that? Oh, part of a bullet, look. Oh, nice colour. It's like a silver bullet. Oh, and there's a vulcanite bottle stopper here. These are the ones which came after the round vulcanite bottle stoppers. So made so that they could be screwed into the bottle by machine. And this is Riley's patent vulcanite bottle stopper. I keep meaning to do a video about vulcanite bottle stoppers. I'm sure that would be a really good one to help you go to sleep at night. But I am going to do it at some point. Now, just down here in the mud, I've seen what I first thought was like a washer or something, but my beady eye has spotted a broad arrow there, which denotes that it is government property. So, I mean, it could just be a washer that's government property. Let's see. Ooh, it probably is. But it's, oh, nice and chunky, nice and chunky. Let's give it a little wash off. Yeah, I wonder what that came from. That's going to look nice, polished up a bit. I can see something round down there. Now it could be a 2p, but it looks a little bit too big for that, to be honest. And it could be a little tag, but it doesn't have a hole. So, I'm wondering if it's an older coin, if it's a penny. Oh look! Oh look, it is! And it's older than I thought it was going to be. That is a George. Gosh, look at the colour coming off of it. Pretty coppery. That is a George. Now, I'm not sure which one. I've got to brush up on my Georges, but there you can see Britannia. I can't actually see the date, unfortunately. Maybe George III. Can you see him? Wow. Great. Brilliant find. Really good condition as well. I hope that I can read the date on it when I get home. It is a bit worn, but hopefully we'll be able to see the date. Now, just down here, we've got a bottle. Look. Can you see that there? And it's got something embossed on it, but I don't know what as yet. And is it in one piece? This is exciting. Ooh. Let's prize it out. Woo! Here it comes. Oh, now that's nice. Oh, it is a glass polish. Wow, what a lovely bottle. For pianos. Oh my god, how random. For furniture. Okay, for furniture and pianos. Liquid glass polish. For furniture and for pianos. Wonderful. Give it a little wash. That's great. I want to show you something. I just found this. What is it? The reason I ask is because I've just found another one just here. I'm curious. I'm going to take them because I'm sure I can make something with them. But if you know what they are, please put it in the comments below. Oh, I've just seen a little orphan over here. Looks like Miss Kitty. And it is indeed. It's okay, Miss Kitty. I have a home for you. You can come home with me. It's your lucky day. Hi everyone, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed that little mudlarking outing along the Thames as much as I did, and I hope too that wherever you are in the world, your week is going well, and that if it isn't, that it soon will be. So I'm here in my studio surrounded by objects which I've found over the years in the Thames and elsewhere, and right in front of me I have the finds that you saw me pluck from the Thames mud in today's video. So let's take a closer look at some of them and find out a little bit more about them and see where they might lead us. So I'm going to start with the heaviest object, no prize for guessing. It is this round object here, slightly less muddy than when you last saw it, and I believe it to be a 19th century iron 6-pound cannonball. Now I have found over the years some of the smaller cannonballs, the grape shot, and you can see here in this footage the difference in size. Now this iron cannonball has been soaking in a bucket for quite a few months to try and avoid that deterioration. Iron can crumble apart quite easily, especially when we've removed it from that protective Thames anaerobic mud. And despite doing that, I have to say that it is crumbling somewhat. So I've sprayed it with some varnish, sort of hoping that that might protect it a little bit from completely disintegrating. It's actually in quite good condition. Now, sometimes I do like to go walk about with my mudlarking finds because I find that it just brings history alive a bit, to take them to places that sort of are related to them. And I was thinking earlier today when I was preparing this roundup and what I was going to say, that not far from where I live, along the Thames path, there are some cannons. And so I'm going to go and see if my daughter would be prepared to come along with me and film me whilst I show you these cannons down at the site of the old Royal Dockyard. So let's see if she's around. I think she's out of bed, but let's go and check. Grace! Oh, you're feeding a squirrel. Honestly, she keeps us both busy. There she is. Anyway, look, enough of squirrel, the little slave driver that she is. Listen, I've just realised that there's some cannons down the road at the old Woolwich Dockyard, and as I'm talking about cannonballs, I thought, hey, let's jump in the car, go down the road, and you could film me showing everyone the cannons. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You up for that?
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay, Squirrel, are you going to give Grace a little break for a moment? Can we have permission to leave the premises? We can leave her a few nuts out on the windowsill of Delights.
Okay.
Okay, Squirrel, we'll be back later. Okay, brilliant, Grace. You're going to take your pyjamas off and we go down to the cannon emplacements?
Sure.
Great, thank you. So here I am with my cannonball. I brought it down on a little trip to visit this 2-cannon gun battery which dates back to 1847, and where we are in fact is at the site of the former Woolwich Dockyard, which shut down in 1869, and there are 2 perfect examples of cannons here. So let's take a closer look at them. Right, so Grace, if you could be the cannonball holder, let's go and take a little look and see what it says on the side of this cannon here. So, 24 pound, I presume that means 24 pounder iron gun on loan from RAHT, wrought iron carriage made by John Slough of London, master gun maker. And we can see that this cannon is looking out over the Thames, and of course it would have been used as defence for any enemies that may have thought that they could sneak up the Thames and be a threat. So let's go and take a look at this cannon over here. And here it is in the gun emplacement. And yeah, pretty much exactly the same. So I wonder if they were ever used, and I think that if they were used, they certainly would have used cannonballs a lot bigger than that one there. And how did this cannonball end up in the River Thames? It's just another one of those magical mudlarking mysteries, and we will never know the answer, but it certainly gets our imagination going. And special thanks goes to guest camera person Grace Weymouth. Well, we've got a squirrel to feed, so we'd better get back to the studio ASAP. See you back there. Welcome back to the studio. I hope you enjoyed that little visit. I think the cannonball did. And of course, I know that there's lots of ammunition and ordnance experts out there. And so if you think that I've got any of the information wrong about this cannonball and that it's not a £6 19th century iron cannonball, then please do let me know in the comments below. I'm always very, very grateful for your information and for your advice and your suggestions. So that's that for the cannonball. The next object I am going to show you, and I hope that you might be able to help me with this actually, because it's this little medallion, and I have not been able to work out what is on there. One side is a little bit easier. There's definitely some crosses and what looks like a couple of hearts at the bottom and some stars around the outside. But the other side, there is a shadowy figure, which could be St. Christopher, it could be the Virgin Mary, it could be a saint. But there's some tiny lettering and I cannot make out what it says. So, I mean, we obviously know that it's something religious, probably Catholic, I expect, but I don't know exactly what it is. So if you recognise it, if you think that you hold the key to what this little medallion represents, then please do let me know. I'd love to know. So there is that. This coin here is really beautiful. Now I have polished it up a bit. I know people don't like it often if you polish up coins, but I decided to polish this one. It's very worn, and it is a George III copper halfpenny, probably dating to 1799. Now George III is actually Britain's longest serving king. He reigned for just short of 60 years, so he just missed his diamond. Yeah, he just missed his diamond jubilee. So 60 years. Voila. Now, here's my pipe. A mudlarking outing isn't a mudlarking outing without a pipe. And this is a particularly nice one. It's a little bit later, I think, than the usual mid-19th century pipe, which I find quite a lot. This one does not have a heel, which is what is making me think that it could be more like 1870, 1880, possibly even 1890. Now, the other day, Simon did a time lapse for a pipe that he found by taking photographs every few minutes to show how that black colour gradually disappears and leaves the pipe as it once was. So I thought I would copy that idea, and so I too took photographs of the pipe every hour or so, and so you can get an idea of
how that colour fades. When I first take a pipe out of the mud, it's often really black, and then in a matter of time, overnight, it turns back into this original pipe colour. So, yeah. Thanks for that idea, Simon. The other thing I've got here is this very chunky, thick washer, which does have a broad arrow on it, which does mean that it was, I suppose still is in some way, government property. I don't know what it came from though. It's quite thick. Do you know? Now, the bottle, the furniture and piano polish bottle. I have to tell you that I do not have it, and it's a really silly reason that I don't have it. When I got it out of the mud and washed it off, I thought that I would take a photograph of it. And so I put the bottle down, got my camera out, got all ready to take a photograph, and then a wave came in and whisked the bottle away, never to be seen again. And the tide was coming in, and so I couldn't retrieve it. It was so frustrating. I think it's one of the first times that I've actually lost something to the incoming tide. I very nearly did before with a trader's token, which blew out of the palm of my hand into the mud, but I scraped as much mud up as I could and I actually got it back. But the bottle, it was just plucked from me and it disappeared out into the river. So I expect that somebody else will probably find it within a few weeks, or maybe it broke, or maybe it was sucked right out into the middle of the river and will never be seen again. But it was a very nice bottle, wasn't it? The memory is there. I have the memories of this very nice bottle of furniture polish, piano polish, glass polish, whatever polish. I think that's pretty much it as far as finds are concerned. I do have Miss Kitty here as well. Not a lot I can really say about her, but she is here. So what other news? Oh yes, I'm going to show off a little bit now because I do have a copy of the Searcher magazine here. I did put a community post up about this. I was very honoured to be featured on the cover of the Searcher magazine. Isn't that exciting? And inside there is an article about some of my favourite finds, my top 10 finds. Now, it's very, very hard as a mudlark to choose your top finds because, of course, there are so many wonderful finds. So my top 10 finds, my top 10 favourite finds do tend to change quite a lot. But I do have a couple of these to give away. And so if you would like to win a copy of the Searcher magazine with yours truly on the front, and I will sign it as well, then please put something that you enjoyed about this video in the comments below, followed by what? I think it'll be hashtag the Searcher. So I think that's about it for now. Thank you again for watching. If you've got any information about any of those finds, put them in the comments below. And don't forget, if you want to have a Searcher magazine, then put your comment below, followed by hashtag Searcher. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Take care, be happy, stay safe. And from me and Miss Kitty, it's goodbye. And until the next time, bye-bye. I had the bright idea of putting some peanuts out for the blue tits. It's attracted some unwanted attention. Gosh. By the way, this isn't my usual squirrel. This is an interloper. Yeah, oh dear. It was so nice. It was so nice for a while. I just had these lovely little blue tits coming, and now I've got acrobatic squirrels. It's all going on, I tell you. It's all going on here. You are a pain. You're an absolute pain. It's not very impressive. If you go round to the windowsill, I can easily give you some nuts. You don't have to make a complete fool of yourself.